Thanks for visiting Beever Golf. I hope you enjoyed your lesson, and what I want to do now is give you a short video recap of what you learned today. Thanks again and best of luck.
Hi Gene, great to see you today, and you Andrew. I haven't seen you for a little while Gene, but Andrew, I've been seeing you up practicing a little bit, which has been good. Just going to run through your swing Gene on the left quickly. So takeaway, pretty good. Club goes inside a little bit early and so do the hands, but we can work on that at a later date. By this part here Gene, I'd like to see the shaft cutting through that part of the body, sort of the right arm a little bit earlier. So the wrist hinge is a little bit late, but we'll work on that later as you haven't played golf for a while. Top of the backswing's really good. I like the left arm, I like the right elbow, it's all pointing down at the ground, which is nice. As we start down, club starts to drop down on a really good plane here, so you can see now as the shaft comes down, just starting to cut through your right forearm, so I really like that. It's very, very good. Now if you keep an eye on your lower half for me, we'll see that as you start down you don't really get out of the way, so you're coming into the ball, the club's just on its way up a little bit, which is why you finned a few today, but also your lower half is very static, and now you'll see that your lower half starts to turn, but it's all a little bit late. And you can see with your left elbow here that it almost looks like you're trying to sort of lift the ball rather than sort of hit down and through it. So all we worked on really was we started off with some half swings, just swinging it to about waist height here, and then I just wanted you to drive through and hit the ball from there, just feeling that as you turn, as the club is coming down towards the ball, your hips were turning. Really easy. If you forget the feeling, just take your right hand off the golf club, set up in your golf posture like that, and just turn to shake someone's hand, and you straight away feel that your hips, knees and shoulders and everything all turn in unison together. And once you started to do that, you really started to hit it quite well, really good distance. Even the driver is very good. Just with the driver you need to remember just to release the club, because sometimes you leave the club face a little bit open. But otherwise Gene, I was really impressed considering I haven't seen you for a little while. So very good. On to you Andrew. So with yourself, we know from last year that you tend to get to the top of your swing. Same thing as Gene, a little bit inside there. But when you get to the top, which I quite like, considering you've had shoulder surgery, there's good position there. But as you start down, you can see now, if we keep an eye on your hands, the club and everything moves slightly in front. So you can see now as you come down to this part here, your shaft is there. Now if you look at Jean's again, Jean does a really good job at this. She will take the mick out of you here, but you can see she gets it through the right forearm, so you almost want to get it in that position there that Jean luckily does. Okay, so from here Andrew, we can see obviously from there you're going to work across it, and this is one of the reasons why you hit the ball quite low, because you're hitting down into it, and now you can see the shaft coming out very high in the body, and where you're almost trying to lift the ball in the air again, where I'd like to see the shaft coming out through that angle. Okay. Also we can see obviously your balance is a little bit out, so we put you on the pressure pad just really to show you that we need to try and get your weight changing its position, and that will help get the club in a better position. So we can see at the top of your swing here you've got 80% of your right foot. Pressure's good, it's about 60-40 into your heel, which is good, but you can see this yellow line now that is going above the top of the graph. Okay, and we need to get that yellow line running linear against that horizontal line. So as you start down, you can see now as we start down, all your pressure now has moved to your left toe. We can see 98% of your weight's on your left toe, and your weight's 50-50 between your right foot and left foot. So still coming down, you can still see it really stays on that toe, and that's why the club is coming over. Obviously, if your weight moves to your toes from the top of your swing, your arms are going to follow it, and that's why you get that sort of over the top look and you hit down on it, and that's why your 5-iron comes out a little bit low. So we just work from the top of your swing, trying to screw the weight into that left heel, and that really started to get your club cutting through that forearm by the end of the lesson. So just work on that weight for me, Andy. Just work on that, get it into that left heel. And well, I hope that helps, and if you have any questions or you're finding a move particularly difficult, please contact me on the numbers on this page or via my email address, philbeaver@hotmail.co.uk. Many thanks.